Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, China Tzu Chi volunteers continue to shower local residents with love at various winter aid distributions. Overseas Tzu Chins return to their spiritual home and vow to carry on spreading the seeds of love back in their own country. Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers are assisting underprivileged students by giving out New Shoot Scholarship to hardworking individuals. Welcome to the first show of the year 2013. As the winter relief distribution kicks off in Fujian, China, the former deputy mayor of Xiamen, Pan Shijian, set aside time from his busy schedule to attend the winter relief distribution ceremony. Although a devout Christian, he was impressed and moved by Tzu Chi's philosophy and great love and humanitarian spirit, and has spread this philosophy among his friends and family.
Following the Sichuan earthquake of 2008, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived to bring comfort to the local residents and help to reconstruct schools for the community. Tzu Chi volunteers have now been in Sichuan for 4 years, and their support has never faltered.
You not only provide material support, but more importantly, you pass on your spiritual philosophies as well.
When the residents of Shunqiang County in Fujian Province lost their homes to a mudslide in 2010, Tzu Chi constructed 400 DaAi houses for the residents.
Every Saturday, we live here at 4 a.m. with a group of engineers who supervise quality control there. It's been a year and 2 months already. The former deputy mayor of Xiamen, Pan Shijian, who is a devout Christian, identifies with Tzu Chi and has spread Tzu Chi's philosophies among his family and friends, and has also agreed to donate his body to medical science upon his passing. It's not about the tangible physical body, but rather to spread that great love to everyone.
Realizing the importance of great love and filial duties, not being at his mother's side at her passing is Pan's biggest regret.
It's been many years since my mother passed away, but we still visit her grave every month because from our mother we have found our strength.
Seizing every opportunity to do charitable deeds, Pan attends Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution amid his demanding schedule.
Although it is windy outside, it is warm here indoors. Why? It's because Tzu Chi Foundation has brought warmth to us here.
This play Pan speaks about is the new Tzu Chi Xiamen chapter, which was built on land provided by the local government for 20 years free of charge.
How to allow those who are seeking spiritual guidance to come here and learn from others and witness all that others have done. The mayor's wish is that this will be the biggest volunteer training base here in Xiamen.
Amid the winter relief distribution, the volunteers at Tzu Chi Xiamen chapter hope to invite more residents to sow more seeds of compassion together.
Continuing in Fujian Province, in Zhangzhou, 200 Tzu Chi volunteers were helping out at a winter aid distribution for 3,400 residents. Inspired by Tzu Chi's kindness, many of the local residents drove their own car to help transport the relief items door to door. Even a successful entrepreneur also came to help out. In Zhangzhou, Fujian Province, 200 Tzu Chi volunteers carried out a winter aid distribution for 1,753 families.
In the following days, we will overcome difficulties and pick up our spirits. On behalf of all the residents here, we thank the Tzu Chi Foundation and all the people who have shown us their kindness.
A bag of rice often weighs 20 or 30 kilograms, which is too heavy for the elderly to carry. Seeing one senior fall down, volunteers rush over to lend a helping hand. Seeing the senior coming to pick up the supplies alone, Chen Ganglong helps her carry the rice. He says doing volunteer work has helped him become a better person.
I'm known to be abrupt with people, but after joining Tzu Chi, I have been influenced by my Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. Now I feel I'm more gentle and confident.
With a heart to give, a chairman of an electric company is also busy carrying bags of rice.
不会很累？不会不会不会。不会哦。你搬到现在搬了2天，你的最大感受是什么？很快乐。
a local radio station, spreads the message to encourage more people to come help move the relief items.
Recently, my company has been busy as well, but when I heard of such a meaningful event, I took time off work to come help. As soon as I transport the items to one household, I'll come back to make another trip. We are very happy, very thankful. Thank you all for helping us.
With every volunteer cherishing the opportunity to help, residents come forward to not only pick up supplies, but love and care.
Staying in China but moving to Guangdong province, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to hold their series of winter aid distributions, this time in Shaoguan. Volunteers not only provided ginger tea to warm bodies, but also helped carry aid supplies for local residents as it was raining on the day of the distribution.
In China's Guangdong, Tzu Chi volunteers hold a winter aid distribution in Shaoguan despite the cold and rainy weather.
It's raining here and cold, so we're providing some warmth for everyone.
Volunteers are afraid of recipients catching a cold, so ginger tea was prepared to keep everyone warm. With the rain, recipients find it difficult to carry the aid supplies, so volunteers take it upon themselves to cart the items to the recipients' cars.
Being able to help the local residents feels great. Seeing the look on their faces and their words of gratitude is plenty enough. It makes me happy.
Volunteers also take the opportunity to visit local residents. Entering one resident's home, they see an elderly sick man. Most of these local residents here are laborers who suffer from work-related aches and pains. Not only do the volunteers listen to their woes, but a Dharma master also has these words of wisdom for them. By guiding local residents to understand contentment, volunteers show them how to find true happiness for themselves.
Also in Guangdong province, in providing financial assistance to families, Tzu Chi volunteers visited schools in Heping Township. Volunteers not only provide financial aid to lessen the burden on families, but also offer guidance to students, as some live away from their parents for most of the year.
In China, on this cold morning, Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting a school in Dongguan City. Compared to the winter jackets the volunteers are wearing, some students only wear thin jackets and no scarves to keep warm. It's a heartbreaking sight for the volunteers. In Heping County, there are a total of 501 students from 4 middle schools that are receiving scholarship aid. Besides financial assistance, volunteers are also guiding these students in life. As some of the students have expressed resentment towards their parents, many who work so far away from home, these lessons have helped to clear the doubts from the students' hearts.
My mother works in a factory. She will need to quit her job if she wants to come home for the holidays. So she doesn't because her company will not want her back when she returns. I never thought to understand her reasons. I was always thinking about myself, but now I understand. She's doing everything for me.
The path to providing an education for their children is difficult for some families, as sickness and poverty is a vicious cycle. As such, Tzu Chi volunteers visit parents in Dongguan to give them words of encouragement and a visiting gift of noodles and winter clothes.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Association. At the Global Tzu Chi Day, nearly 1,000 youth volunteers from around the globe returned to Taiwan to take part in the training seminar. Overseas Tziqings from some 7 countries even put on a section of the sign language performance of vow in action to demonstrate their determination in spreading Tziji's seed of love back home.
70 Tziqings from 7 different countries are coming together to put on a section of the sign language performance of vow in action. These youth volunteers have had months of practice in their own countries, and with only 3 rehearsing sessions in Taiwan, are able to demonstrate unity and Tziji's humanitarian spirit.
I must pass on Tziji's missions just like Uncle Pan, and I know I will never regret walking the Tziji path, and I will take on responsibilities when I need to.
The story of Thailand's first Tziqing is evident of Tziji's cycle of love.
Before, I was very fortunate to receive help from Tzi. I'm very grateful to the Master for giving me the opportunity to spend my life giving to those in need.
The Tziqing was a resident of a DaAi village in northern Thailand, and when life became better, he wanted to pass the love forward. The day of the closing ceremony is also his birthday. Thus, the volunteer vows to call on more students like him to join Tzi.
家庭背景怎么样？感恩心永远不能没有。那既然有这样的机会读书，更需要呢人生的轨道不能有差错，空间啊，不管遍布在哪里，我们有一个正确的轨道。这个轨道呢？ 那就是正知正见正法。
Nearly 1,000 Tziqings from 14 countries around the globe all vow to call on more bodhisattvas to come together and make a difference.
Moving to China, in Shanghai, the year-end blessing ceremonies there took place over 3 days. For many volunteers, it was their first time organizing such a large-scale event. Thus, Tzu volunteers from Taiwan traveled to China to pass on their knowledge and expertise. And in Taiwan, kindergarten and Cardinal Tian College students celebrated their year-end in a meaningful way by donating money to help those in need.
Here in Songshan district of Taipei City, many kindergartners gathered to attend a year-end blessing ceremony. Wanting to help the poor, some children sold traditional snacks at the night market and donated the proceeds to Tzu Ji.
你卖什么？青蛙下蛋。青蛙下蛋，哇，有没有生意很好？有。你为什么这么认真卖青蛙下蛋？要帮助别人。要帮助别人。要帮助别人哎，不是拿起来，赚的钱拿来买玩具，是不是？
I told the kids, their $1 and my $1, 10 people's $1, put together will add up to $10.
Here at the Cardinal Tian College of Healthcare and Management in Xindian, New Taipei City, students of the Tzu Jing Club look back and share what they have accomplished in Tzu Ji this year.
When I see the youth in today's society, they're missing morals and value. But from the Tziqings, I see a pure and kind side.
他们纯净可爱的一面。
Embracing the new year with love, each student donates money to help the survivors of Sandy. Tzu Ji volunteers from Taiwan also came especially to offer their assistance throughout the 3 days of year-end blessing ceremonies held in Shanghai, China.
I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to large-scale events. I hope the brothers and sisters from Taiwan can pass on their knowledge and experience to us.
With one guiding patiently and the other learning diligently, volunteers from both countries are working hand in hand to capture each happy moment of the participants.
The blessings from Tzu Ji volunteers and the blessings from our master, its meaning and truth has passed on to the participants. Seeing the contentment on everyone's face really moves us.
From first time at directing to first attempt at coordinating,
Although there were a few glitches along the way, the event paved the way towards perfection in the future.
Moving to the United States, at their regular weekly distribution, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers in Phoenix, Arizona handed out the usual food supplies to those in need and also included daily necessities as well as coupons to help underprivileged families celebrate the holidays. While Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters in San Dimas, California, organized a banquet to thank the volunteers and medical staff for their endless devotion.
Here at the Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters in San Dimas, California, the kitchen is already bustling with activities as volunteers prepare for a year-end banquet.
I'm grateful to everyone, and especially our volunteers and the medical team. Here, as we gather together, it is really a time of gratitude.
An Indonesian woman who received acupuncture treatment for her frozen shoulder expressed her gratitude to the team of doctors.
On the last week of 2012, we are gathering together, and with a very grateful heart, we thank all our volunteers and their family members for their support and devotion over the year.
Moving to Phoenix, Arizona, Tzu Chi volunteers who have been handing out food supplies to needy residents for the past 15 years are holding a year-end ceremony as well.
What is the meaning of Tzu Chi? What is the meaning of Tzu Chi?
Compassion.
And
Apart from putting on a series of performances, students also teach children how to make cookie decorations. Tzu Chi volunteers not only handed out food supplies, but also daily necessities and a $20 voucher in hopes of helping those in need celebrate the new year in style.
Tzu Chi Singapore chapter has been handing out New Shoes scholarships to hardworking students from economically disadvantaged families for 5 years now. The program, which originally partnered with 28 local schools, is now working with over 80 schools across the country. In total, 11,168 students have received scholarship, and that number keeps growing. Recently, at a 2-day scholarship awards ceremony, around 2,000 students received the economic lifeline that will allow them to continue their education and thus take the first step in leaving poverty behind.
Regardless of the weather outside, Tzu Chi's New Shoes Scholarship ceremony continues as planned. As the volunteer respectfully hands out the scholarship, both children and parents are moved.
Appreciate it, even though I'm the recipient, because the sincerity, the humility, you know, how you bow.
Very, you respect someone.
Students take to the stage to show their gratitude with a sign language performance, while others return bamboo coin banks in reciprocation.
To give back because Tzu Chi has helped us a lot, so I think it's one of the good ways to help to give back.
Jerome Secondary School Principal Tan Jing-tong has worked with Tzu Chi for years in organizing the New Shoot Scholarship Program.
In Chinese, there's this saying, you know, 取之于社会，还之于社会. I think that this is a very important philosophy, a very important concept. I hope that they will keep it up.
This love lets them feel that love and care exist between people.
With the scholarships in hand, these students can now focus on their studies as they look towards a brighter future in days ahead.
In another part of Asia, Tzu Chi volunteer Zhang Zhenhua from Butterworth, Malaysia, was once a Tzu Chi Care recipient. In 2008, Zhang's wife suffered from kidney disease and required dialysis, yet the couple could not afford the medical fees. Thankfully, Tzu Chi provided them with subsidies for over 2 years. As the financial condition of Zhuang's family improved, he voluntarily stopped taking the funds and decided to devote himself to recycling and helping people in greater need.
If there is any Tzu Chi event, as long as I have time, I'll be there because I want to help other people.
At the monthly recycling day in Butterworth, Malaysia, Zhuang Zhenghua spares no effort in transporting or sorting recyclables.
When I told him to pick up the recyclables at a new recycling station, he remembered to do so at that station in the following months. He is a very conscientious person.
In 2008, Zhuang's wife suffered from kidney disease. However, Zhuang's income as a truck driver was insufficient to cover the cost of dialysis. Thankfully, Tzu Chi was there to help.
When Tzu Chi first gave me subsidies, my wife wondered how long Tzu Chi's assistance would last. In the end, Tzu Chi funded us every month for 2 or 3 years. I told my wife, Tzu Chi has really helped us a lot. They also visited us each month. I'm so thankful.
With the volunteers' encouragement, Zhuang has also learned how to give back.
I'll ask him to coordinate different events with me. Through these events, he will gain more wisdom in his life.
When Zhuang's daughter started working in 2011, Zhuang stopped taking Tzu Chi's funds, offering them to others in greater need. Now he is learning to reciprocate and has become a Tzu Chi volunteer to better care for other recipients.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan held a Jingsi tea class at the Tainan Jingsi Hall. This particular session was infused with the theme of tea for 4 seasons. The ceremony not only brought new participants to absorb Dharma, but wisdom was reinforced for returning participants as well.
In Taiwan, the Jingsi tea ceremony is set in Tainan's Jingsi Hall. At this ceremony, Wu Nianting shares her experience in learning how to brew a good cup of tea.
Before I studied tea art, I was an impatient person. However, after learning the art of tea, I learned how to slow down, calm down, and settle down. That's what tea art has taught me.
This is Singapore resident Yi Su-zhu's first participation of a tea ceremony, and she has also felt the importance of taking it slow and steady.
There's a phrase that makes up the mindset of brewing a cup of tea that I like. Settle, quiet, calm, and consider. Actually, anything that you want to achieve in life takes the first step of setting your goal.
Brewing a cup of tea, it not only warms the heart, but also the body. Wisdom is also passed on through the exchanges of serving tea.
Staying in Taiwan, at the Tzu Chi Guanzhou grounds, the recycling station has been under remodeling for the past half month. In celebration of its reopening, a Jingsi tea ceremony was held, where despite the cold, many recycling volunteers came to join the blessed event. I hope everyone has a happy new year. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.